Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back up here. And energies. I want to say thank you, all of you, for watching and supporting the channel. Appreciate you for it. What is going on, though? You guys know that the things are moving, the things are never stop, and so on. So you may gonna feel a little bit overnight. You may gonna feel some little things that's gonna be coming in because the moon is squaring Venus, is gonna squaring Saturn, and with that energy there, then she's gonna be squaring the sun. Talking about the moon is in where Gemini, friendliness, how friendly you are with everything else that goes on. And that energy is going to trigger a lot of triggers inside of you. Inner work that you need to do, inner work that you have to be done, something that it has to be looking at in there. You may end up in situations, triggers. Look at those triggers. The first triggers, that's going to be about love. The second trigger is about what is your limitations. And after that, what is your limitations within authority, internal visions? Now, let me stop here for a second and talk to you about this Piscean energy, especially triggering that from a Gemini standpoint. Is going to be a lot of shadows of a doubt. You can have a shadows of a doubt about the person you love. You can have a shadows of a doubt about your limitations and the limits of others. You shall have a shadows of a doubt inside of you with the authority within yourself. But what is your authority over others? This can trigger some situations in there, including situations with work. So my advice to you is, guys, so basically, do your things as look inside of you first, because these triggers is gonna be coming up, and tomorrow, that energy is gonna come in and work much, much better because through that transfer from Gemini into Cancer, those transfers of energy of evolving, you going from a friendship to a family to a different relationship. Okay, we are talking about you can have even relationship as a family at work. Okay, what is your working environment within you? What is that goes on in there within yourself? So, with that being said, in there, so one thing you need to pick up a time for you is 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Be mindful that the energy is going to come in too strong because that's going to be the energy where the inner work, which is not going to be the midheaven, is going to be coming together with the moon. And you're going to feel those pressures throughout the day. But don't allow them those pressure, but understand them. Why did they come in for? What did they teach you? What did they ask you to let go? And what is they teaching you for you to grow, to develop a strength? What is your understandings about friendshipness, friendliness? Are you friendly from within? If you have negative thoughts, negative mindset, negative things inside of you, this is things is going to be triggered. Ask yourself why, because when you find a why, you will understand how to correct. All right. So inside here is your chart. Right from you. There you go. Here's what we're talking about. That the moon is right in here. That is going to be this square towards Venus. Later on, it's going to be a square towards Saturn, and she's going to be moved a little bit more within Gemini, and that energy is going to trigger here everything that you have. But as I said, this is a duality signs, so that duality right here is going to be triggered. However, that energy is very powerful with the North Node and a Chiron, something that it needs to be still purging and healing. This is why Chiron stays the most of the time in Aries. That's right. Like it or not, it is what it is. As we're going on through the day, the ascendant is going to be moving at 8 o'clock in the morning there with Uranus. As you see it right here, very powerful energies here with the midheaven. There's a lot of things is going to comes out, problems, solutions. It's coming out at this time. For it, you'll be able to find the solutions of things that it comes in within you. Venus, however, that is going to have this beautiful, beautiful um, sextile at some point here, as Saturn does with Jupiter. As she goes more and close towards Saturn, you're going to find the mysteries in there. You're going to find the mystery power of the real love. But that isn't happening there. You can find the love or you can find the nightmare, but you can't have them both. If you have the one, don't focus on the other. Don't go through the extremes, but seeking more deep within you. So, as we're progressing throughout the day at 9 o'clock there, the ascendant is going to be giving you a preview of what you're going to face at 6 o'clock. This is going to be that squaring towards Venus into Saturn, and you're going to have this Lilith square energies in here. Did you really get the shadows done? Do you still have that shadows in there? And those shadows is going to comes into you. They're going to be coming in towards you. But as the sun is moving more forward and the Lilith is moving, there will be at some point this energy is up here. It's going to be breaking down. It's not the shadow will not have any more authority within yourself, so you can see something even more deeper than ever you saw. Now the midheaven it's going to be an Aquarius, very beautiful time with the Aquarius energies in there. That is about you. Today we made a video at our Aqua Spirit channel there, and we talk about some of the things in there, specifically about these energies. Okay, you are upgrading those energies inside of you throughout these upgrades to go ahead and re-innovate it. You to bring these innovations to create this new self within you, the new self you always wanted to be, the new self you always wanted to get. And that is going to be that work, understanding to work on your own self. All right, so talking about the next hour, the focus as you see it is going to be Mars, which is that it's coming in right in here in these red lines. And that inner work with Mars is going to be, I want to see this frigidness. I want to see these energies. I want this. I want that. I want to get my karmas done. You can get the things that you need to get it done as long as you do the work. Only I need, I want, and I so want without rolling your sleeves and get to work is not going to work. And that's what is going to be your understanding of Mars. That you are the one who creates these innovations from the previous hour, not somebody else. So talking about the next hour as the day comes in, that is going to be at 11 o'clock for it. Midheaven isn't Pisces, is between Venus and Saturn. That ascendant as the moon is going to be there tomorrow. Okay, the moon's going to come in some close up here. You're going to see this positiveness in there of deep, deep emotions. But those emotions, they have their purpose. Can you treat everybody else as like your family, as long as they treat you as a family? So here is what we are talking about, the way of your behavior is gonna be. And the test of that behavior, it's coming here with the moon, that it's gonna be in Gemini. Because you can have a friendliness with the relatives, you can have a friendliness as a family at work. Because some of the people at work, they're more family to you than your own family. Why is that? You're going to find out the answers are coming. They're all in you. So in the next hour, which is then going to be at the midday, that's where the midheaven is together with the sun for the ascendant is at Cancer, beautiful times with the sun for it. And seeing it, those energies, gonna bring a lot of positiveness. Okay, it's gonna bring you a positiveness, but at the same time, the moon, it's beginning to pack in its own powers of that square with the sun. She's dropping the square towards Venus, and she has still have squaring towards Saturn, but right in here begins that energy with the sun. And that is going to be preview of like, hey, you're going to have to deal with this authority. You're going to have to deal with this Piscean energies inside of you. And what is it, the Piscean energies? You don't know it. It's mystery. You have to dive within the mysteries. The only way to solve the mysteries is to go back. This has happened. Why did that happen? Because of that happened. That happened because of something else happened before. And that is because of this. You go to the cause effect down the line, and then you find the mysteries inside of it. Piscean energies, guys. It is what it is. All right. So, talking about the next hour, which is going to be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, for, still, you're going to be looking into this friendliness in there. But the friendliness is about your karma. You need to understand you have to do good. And so the effect after that is coming to be a good. But at the same time, what is your limitations? You're not doing good. Is there something with you? Because looking at an external sources or external energies, you can have this ego protections that the ego protecting you from other people's egos, trying to force things on you. That is unacceptable. Okay. But at the same time, you have to look at the friendliness with who? Within your own self. What is your actions? What is your warrior in there? And the moon trining Mars is going to be helpful. This is like the mother helps its son. This is like the queen help its prince, who is right now have his own battles in keeping going forward. Well, as I see it, Mars begins to having a hard time because right now he is squaring Uranus, but over the time he's going to be even getting more harder battles. That's when the Mars is going to be moving into Pisces. That energy right now, you feel it within Pisces, you're going to be feeling it within the warrior within you. And you're going to have these glimpses that comes in. That is a when you have to separate from this mother as energies, as dominance in there, and understanding you have to mature, but you need time alone. You need that hermit mode. But sometimes too much karmic mode, it's harmful. Too much within your mind when you stay there. And this is what you need to be very careful with that. Don't stay too much. Add something, do something, listen to this, clean the house, something. All right, so talking about the next hour, which is going to be at 2 o'clock, the midheaven is going to be at Aries in there, is going to be squaring Pluto. You know, like that, you need to be transformed, you need to be changed, you need to be put in where it needs to be. We talk about this force of the evolution. It's gonna come in with the same situations that you have not learned in life until you learn them. And once you learn them, you understand why you have to learn them within yourself. At the same time, the ascendant that is at Leo is going to be in divine energies with Saturn, but it's going to be squaring here Jupiter. That lack of growth, your limitation is going to be triggered. But as the moon is in Gemini, that is at about friendliness. And that friendliness is going to be coming in since the ascendant is going to be giving it the sextile to the moon. The moon is in sextile with Chiron and the North Node. And you see those energies right here. They're all connecting, but they show you the problem. What things you have not mature and grow. Can you have an honest, mature conversations? All right, so talking about it, 3 o'clock, that energy of the ascendant, it's opposing Mars. You may be boiling, you may be burning things, you may be thinking about the negative. You gotta be very careful when you think negative, because the more negative you think, the more negative energies you're gonna be attracting to yourself. So basically, you're pumping yourself with negative energies. Okay. Also, it's the same thing. So much positiveness and so on and so on. You have failed to see where the pitfalls are, as the same as the people fail to see the red flags. So, in that case, what do you need to do? You have to put everything in where? In your shadow of a doubt. So, the shadows of a doubt on one side is good, and the other side, it is not. So, maintaining this balance within yourself and navigate those vibrations is going to be able to develop the skills inside of you for yourself of what you have to develop yourself, navigate your own behaviors. Because the behavior begins within Gemini. Behavior that it's learned that Gemini is responsible, and it's coming the very first time at the age of 3. The age of 3, when you learn how to play with others, when the others sharing things with you. And those are the crucial moments of age of 3, when the socializing begins. And those patterns you learn at the age of 3, it's reflecting your socializing skills. So right now, with that triggers inside of it, with the authority in there within a shadow, it can trigger things inside of you all the way down into your childhood. Now, the midheaven, it's in Taurus. If you're working with a material situation, material stuff, expect some challenges, but don't get aggravated. It doesn't worth it. It's not worth it because that energy is here together with the midheaven to Uranus towards Mars is not worth it. All you have to do is go with the flow. All right, so talking about the next hour as the day goes by, that's going to be at 5 p.m. As you see it, this energy here I was talking about around 6 o'clock begins to pile up. So is the synchronicities energies that are coming. They're going to be telling you things about you. And if you look at it, always the other people are wrong, and you are like holy water clean. Oh, you get it wrong. Have you look at your own faults and admitting your own faults, especially I'm going to be talking about the masculines here. Oh, I'm perfect, but you're really perfect. And this is a why this sometimes people with the Gemini situations they have problems with this. Uh, Look at me, how great I am, and so on and so on. And then they're gonna be in about 10 minutes after that. They're gonna be screaming, yelling, and whining and moaning about it. And that's how you learn who you are. Look at the one pattern, look at the other pattern inside of you. That's gonna be able to help you with these vibrations that it's in there. So you see it in your screen, too much red, right? That's the midheaven and the moon. I was talking about this energies of 6 o'clock up here that it's coming. That's going to be the ascendant of Virgo opposing the Sun and Neptune, and it's going to be squaring the Moon. So if you're Virgo, if you're Pisces, if you're Gemini, Sag, you're going to feel those energies the most. But if you are, for example, an Aquarius there, if you are Libra, those energies not going to affect you that much. Okay, they're not going to be affecting you that much. But if you are Pisces, Virgo, and Sag, especially in a Sag, if you have something in there, you're going to be able to see from the bottom to all the way to the up. And that can trigger situations within friendships, situations and emotions inside of you, unhealed patterns inside of you, wounds that you had from others that makes you acting in a certain ways, but staying on your toes right here. As you see at that midheaven with the moon right here, that is it, what helping Mars. Your actions. Your actions determine the reality. Remember that. And as we see it at 7 o'clock, the energy is calming down a little bit for it. The midheaven that's going to be at Cancer, it's going to be trining to Venus and Saturn. It's like, that's okay. The masculine got his stuff. Everything is good. You're not left alone. You're not doing it this. Just the person have his own issues. A lot of the people in there, they have these situations inside of them of, well, my partner is mad. He doesn't talk. He's got this. He's got some things that he needs to do with himself. That doesn't mean they have something to do with you. Right now, they're preoccupied of what they have to do within themselves. And within you is like, well, they don't pay attention, they don't give me an energy, they don't give me this and that. 10-4, we are done. Does that sound familiar? Like you're repeating a pattern to some of you. You're gonna call that pattern inside. You're gonna be able to heal it. That is it, the purpose of all this energy that goes on. All right, so talking about 8 o'clock, yes, the energies are gonna be pretty much okay, but if you have anything in Libra around 17 degrees in there, yeah, you're feeling it. You're feeling it that for it. I'm a Libra, okay? I know what I'm talking about here. You're feeling the things is not going right. No, they're going okay. You are just right now are ready to receive what you're supposed to receive. So as that the moon is right in here at Gemini, it's a very beautiful trine. That's what I said. If you're Libra or if you're Aquarius, you get this synchronizations energies from the moon. Midheaven, though, that it's in Cancer, it's going to help the divine energy of Mars, who is practicing those energies and those advices. You know, the greatest advices from the mother is the one of connecting to God. The purpose of the mother when it has a son is to connect him to the divine, to look to the divine. That's how he's learning first from it. But if you have not receiving that, guess what? Those creates a patterns inside of you, and those patterns create the problem with the authority. And you are more authoritarian. Look at me, who I am, odds I'm show you. I'm gonna show them, I'm gonna kick them butt, and so on and so on. That's the negative side of Mars. And right now Uranus is like, I don't like this negative side of you, Mr. Mars. I don't want it. Whatever you're going, you don't need that. You need the wisdom. So here is we're talking about 9 o'clock. The ascendant moves into deep within the Libra, which is pretty much at the end of the Libra. There's going to be divine energies towards the authority and Neptune. If you take down divine energies inside of you, you put the divine energies to work for you. Mid-heaven at Virgo is right now have divine energies with Venus. You're understanding the both sides of this feminine energies, and at the same time this beautiful trine that is here from the moon. As I said, the air signs for it, you're gonna feel good. Yeah, but you're also gonna feel it good within the air. You have something that you complete. You have something that is happened. You have something that is great, great. And talking about a 10 o'clock energies, that's gonna be again testing Mars right here because the midheaven is going to be opposing Mars and that with the universe is like, why the universe put me through the hardship? Why the universe gives me these lessons? What is this is all about? Well, you'll find it in the mysteries. You're not gonna find it in somewhere else. Some of the divine mysteries are gonna be revealed to you when you're ready, really, to understand them. Otherwise, the revelations is not gonna help you. You're just like, this is not for me. I want something else. You're scratching your head and you're like, I want something else. And you ask and ask, and then you get the same information. It's like, well, I don't want this. There was this video clip that was circling in there about your soul contract. Did I really agree on this? No. Did I really agree on this? No. Oh, now I know why I agree on that. And that's what some of you is going to be happening because that energies that it's coming here from Leo towards the moon and from the moon goes into Mars. You're resolving the conflict. But again, it all depends on the feminine energies and your personal intuitions, the way it goes. But that has to go with, are you friend to your own self first? Because sometimes you could be your worst enemy to yourself. And that is the one thing you have within you. Because that war between the sun and the moon, which is that's going to be a first quarter moon situations in there, can trigger these patterns inside of you. Here is we're talking about at 11 o'clock. I suggest you to go to bed at 10, but if you are like Dio Crudo, right now it's at 1:40 in the morning. Up here, that pressures that it's gonna comes in from the shadow that triggers the Scorpio's energies. That is triggering all that with Mars, particularly in there. That squaring that it's coming right now is gonna be coming a better thing. Your problems today, they're gonna be your blessings tomorrow. Because by resolving those issues, specifically we're talking about this friendliness issues inside of you, it's gonna make you a better person. You're gonna know who to accept, who is a friend and who is a foe. But you're also gonna understand yourself. Are you a friend or a foe to your own self? And once you learn to be a friend to yourself, you're attracting the people who are friendly to themselves as well. And I hope that's you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will come here and talk to you tomorrow. Be love, guys.